Welcome to Talk That Ish, where we talk that ish. I'm your host that do the most, your boy Ish Roy, and today we got a very, 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 very special guest. I'm talking about legendary living legend. Normally, I'm not the one that's nervous, but today, I might drop a couple of sweats or whatever because this man that just walked in the room, people, he has seen things, he has done things, and he's created his own lane to the point where I can sit here and say this is the one and only walking living legend street baller that's still around and still breaking ankles. The Bone Collector live in the building. What's up, man?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Man,
Much
I
respect.
appreciate you for coming here.
Thank you.
How was the drive? I know it was
LA traffic is what it is.
man.
I'm used to it, but it was all right.
Man, I'm coming from the Riverside area, so I know.
Oh yeah, that's pretty far drive.
I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah,
It's worth it, brother. Trust me. But we're gonna get right into it, man. So
let's get it.
I want to know where you from. Like,
I was born in Tyler, Texas, but I was
man.
raised in Pasadena, California.
oh, okay.
That's
why you got Pasadena. Okay, I see that. I see that. So you from the Dina? I see you. Okay. Yeah, I know a little bit. But so how was that growing up? Like, how was your upbringing? Like what was it like?
My upbringing was mixed a bit. We had some intellectual mentors in our community that steered us the right way, but
Right.
also being that Pasadena is embodied by Los Angeles gangs. We were in a situation where there was two different tiers. There was gang violence, and then there was intelligence and scholastic things going on. So
Right.
it was tough to balance kind of both. You had to
For
kind of
sure.
pick and choose what you wanted to do and how you wanted to pursue your life struggles. And sometimes when you grow up in a young environment like that, it's easy to sway to the things that are easier. So I chose to just stick to what I was good at, and that's playing basketball and being a thinker.
And what made you get up and say? And I know you just said you decided to play basketball, but you don't have to give too much detail. But what situation or what moment were you like, I'm not doing nothing else. Basketball is what I'm gonna do forever.
I would have to say it was probably when I was about 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old,
Early.
and I went to a park with my dad, and he kept beating me 1-on-1. Like he just was beating me over and over again, and I was like to the point where I was almost in tears. And so he stopped me. He said, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I just don't feel right." I said, "That's called losing. You feel that you don't want to lose anymore, right?" And so from that point on, he taught me and he weaponized my skill set so I could be a better winner.
Right.
So he taught me two things that day. He taught me how to play defense, and he taught me how to be more strategic when I use my offense. And from there, it was like a fire. It just burned in me to get better and better. And I never looked at anybody that was around me as competition. I looked at them more as sparring partners.
Okay. So in like that aspect, what made you decide street ball? Because most people, they typically go to school, go to college, try to get to the pros, which is cool. But what made you say, you know what, I like street ball, I'm gonna do the street ball?
Well, I said I chose street ball because during the time in the early 2000s, there was all these different avenues that were new to the scene. So obviously college, Division I athletes, Division I sports, international basketball was slightly popular. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we saw these guys in New York playing at something called Rucker Park.
Yeah.
And we saw NBA players mixing with those guys, competing. And it was the first time I've ever seen something like that. I saw Vince Carter playing against one of my good friends, a whole lot of game. I saw Future. I saw I'll Be Right Back. I saw Skip to My Lou. Rest in peace, Ali Mo. Rest in peace, Escalade.
Rest in peace.
I saw these guys on a tape, Stephon Marbury and all these guys, and I was like, this is more of my tempo
Mm.
because it wasn't about at the time it was frowned upon to be able to quote unquote dribble the ball too much,
Right.
right? And that was the first place I saw that they were actually doing it whatever they wanted, but it was still all about winning because it was pros out there. So I didn't have to make a choice. I just knew once I got there, I knew they would respect my skill set because I had
Right.
been training and working on it for so long that it was unique. I knew that. I knew I had a couple moves that no one could guard, like my
More than a
hesitation
couple.
move and so on and so forth. And I felt like to be confident in a situation like that would probably make and build my character to the point where it would create a new lane for myself.
Right.
And years later, I didn't go out there with a nickname, but years later, the name Bone Collector is all over the world.
I was about to ask you how you got that name too. Well, it's kind of obvious because I mean anybody that goes one on one against you, they have that already in the back of their mind that okay, I'm either gonna fall, he's gonna do something that's gonna make me remember this day. And was it that like with you like perfecting your handles and all of that? Was it that gave you the name, or was it
Well, it was a combination of things.
okay?
And I'm gonna go backstory. When I
Okay.
was in New York,
Hmm.
in order to stay prepared for Rucker Park, myself and a guy named David Seals, they called him the Enigma, and another guy named Julius Hodges, he played in the NBA for the Denver Nuggets. Went to I don't want to say his college because I might get it wrong,
No.
South Carolina or Maryland, one of those.
Okay.
But we played one on one, sun up to sundown, to the death. And when we played those games, nobody was watching. There was a lot of stuff going on. Mind you, I was young and my handles were new to New York, so nobody was ready for what I was doing. So I was making somebody fall every day. And
Imagine.
Dave and those guys used to say, like, it can't be real. Like, this is not real. This is because these are not regular guys. These are
Right.
pretty good athletes, but no bragging on myself. It was just that I knew what I was doing was new to the scenario.
Hmm.
So I would do it so much that it started happening in the games.
Right.
So 5 games go in, and people are falling and getting hurt and getting wheeled off to the paramedics and all this stuff.
Man.
So Dave calls me in the middle of the night, like, "Yo, I got the perfect name for you, Bone Collector." Because every time you play, somebody getting dropped and somebody getting hurt.
Hmm.
So I'm laughing because at the time there's a movie called The Bone Collector out with
Right.
Denzel
Denzel. Yep.
Washington and Angelina Jolie. So
So.
I'm like, I don't think that name will stick
Right.
because those are two major actors. I don't think
Hmm.
that name can coincide.
Right.
But lo and behold,
It did.
yeah, it did. And, I thank big shout out to Dave Seals for
Absolutely.
creating that lane for me, being thoughtful
Hmm.
about my skill set to give me that name. That name is went a long way.
Yeah, and it's still going now.
Still going.
Still will go after, man. So you've been around the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is your favorite, or would you prefer to say your favorite country is to play at?
It's tough. I would have to say it's a toss up between 3 different places:
Okay, give
the
me your top three. Yeah.
Philippines,
Mhm.
China, and I would have to say Rome.
Rome.
Yeah.
Oh, they play ball like that out in Rome?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
They yeah, those were just because I was able to play in some environments that were like amazing. Like
Mm.
when I went to Rome, I got to play right in front of the Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
There was a
Oh
court
wow.
right outside the Coliseum.
Get out of here, bro.
Yep. They have a
Man.
basketball court inside the Vatican, which I thought was amazing.
Hell yeah.
Uh, when China is just on a whole nother scale when it comes to street ball support. That's where I'm gonna build my next gym in China.
Oh, word?
Shenzhen, China. For the people who are
Shenzhen.
listening,
Shenzhen, China. For the people that are listening, man.
there'll be a gym. It's called Bone Collector Academy. It'll be built there, and
Coming soon.
coming very soon.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
dope.
and then the Philippines,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, it was just a blessing. I went out there with the cast of people that I went with the
Yeah.
the street ball team of myself and 10 other legends, and then
Mm-hmm.
we added on Allen Iverson joined us on that tour. And I tell you, I've never seen that much support in my life, not up close. They were crying, pushing our bus over. They wanted to see us so bad, and they wanted to embrace this street ball nostalgia. And it made me feel good about the people that sat before me that put the street ball on a map. It made me feel good about where it was going. So
Yeah.
those three places.
Oh, so I could rock with that. Could rock with that. So I know you do a lot of one-on-ones, right? So who would be your favorite one-on-one person that you would have to play against?
Kyrie Irving,
Kyrie Irving, why?
just because I know him and I watched him for years. Um, and I just want to see if my weapons, how they work against his weapons.
Mm.
I think it'll be good. It'll be a good sparring situation. And I've been working on two things when I train kids to teach them how to play defense first.
Yeah.
And what better way to learn it by than playing against somebody who has never been guarded. You have to get your defense up to even compete. So I believe in always aiming for the top of the food chain when it comes to trying to get better. So I would say Kyrie Irving. Now there's a few other guys I would love to play. James Harden, Damian Lillard, John Morant, Luka Doncic, whoever is, you know,
Willing.
top of their class
Yeah.
as far as, their skill set, because at the end of the day, it's a win-win regardless.
Sure.
They're going to learn something from me and I'm going to learn something from them.
Definitely. My money's on you, but definitely I feel that. So in the street ball world, when you step on the court, who's the person that you see that you know, okay, it's not gonna go easy. You're gonna do what you do, but it's gonna be a challenge.
I've never felt that before.
Really.
Yeah, I don't know. My mindset is different when it comes to competition.
Mm-hmm.
So, I played against some pros, and
Definitely.
I won't name drop, but when you play against an NBA player, you have to understand the environment. So if I don't come in the situation thinking, okay, it's gonna be a different night, I come into situations thinking, whatever he was comfortable with, I'm gonna make him uncomfortable.
Mm.
Whatever he thought I was good at, I'm gonna do the opposite.
Right, right.
Um, if he's used to no one being close to him or guarding him 94 feet, then I'm gonna guard him 94 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So my approach was more so to kind of, neutralize the defense with just my mindset alone, instead of coming in a situation thinking anything other than that. So my confidence wasn't really, a problem for me. I was always prepared. I knew when I got that ball in my hand, it was problems, and that's all I could, hang my hat on.
Man, I gotta come see you play live one day, man. Cause I know, I mean, on YouTube you see it, but I've heard people say, man, when you see him live, it's like just as fast. Because some people, they don't believe, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, they speed it up or this and that.
Yeah.
But when you sit down and you see it, it's like, oh no, this is real. Like he really
Yeah.
do that back and forth hesitation thing really quick. Like it's different, man.
It
like,
is. I mean, and not to pat myself on the back,
Go ahead.
that goes for all pro athletes. When you watch television and you say, man, I can guard that guy, please believe me that those guys are on the tip-top shape. Those guys are definitely, top athletes, and those guys have a high skill set. And if you're going to, make those claims, you better be on the same page.
Definitely, because I've seen some people that felt like, oh man, I can guard you. You ain't this and that, and then you're just like, okay, let's go then. Like,
Well, I'm weaponized at this point, so when I hear people say anything to me, I just pray that they don't play me. They can talk a lot, but nobody. I just hope that they don't call me out to play in one-on-one or any of that, because it's not gonna be all right.
Don't do it. I'm not gonna do it. So I advise y'all, don't do it. And if you do it, like you said, be prepared for whatever comes your way, man, for sure. So, with saying that, are we gonna see you back on the court anytime soon? Anything happening?
Yes, I am right now working with Phil Handy,
Okay.
Lakers coach
Okay.
and personal trainer for numerous NBA athletes, and we are going to create in his 94 feet a game training app a workout that is specifically designed to teach kids how to do my hesitation dribble and
Mm.
more moves that you can, combinations and crossovers you can do that will enhance the speed of your dribble and the strength of your dribble.
Okay.
And then I've also been doing Bone Collector Academy. We've already hit about 5 cities so far. During the pandemic, what we tried to do is provide the same training programs that we did previous, but start mobilizing and moving around from state to state.
Right.
And so we give that, we give them more of a mentorship program instead of just training them, where we let the kids come in and experience what it's like to go through a full pro workout or a full NBA training, and then we bring in an NBA player, and give them the ins and outs of being a pro, and then we go through tournament style training camp, and it's really cool because it's almost like an all-star weekend for the kids. Give them two days to kind of just dial in on basketball, including 3-point contest, skills challenge, and then at the end, one-on-one challenge against me, so they can have some fun all the way around the board.
Well, you gonna do that to those kids, man?
I mean, it's kids and adults. Whoever wants to come out.
Don't do it. I already told y'all, don't do it, man.
Yes.
So, I saw you with Adam Sandler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we can talk about it, but what was that experience like?
Can't say too much about it.
Right.
There's a show coming out in June. Stay tuned. I will say it was one of the most humbling experiences to find out that someone that you've watched on as an actor for years has brought you comedy, and someone that you supported actually supports you more than you support them. To find out that they watch all your videos, they want you to, be more active in their world, so to speak, in the movie world. So it was amazing for me to get on a show. Shout out to Netflix.
Shout out to Netflix. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely gonna look out for that, man. Deep Bone Collector, bro. I still kind of still not. I'm fanning out a little bit, not
It's
really,
all right.
but it's
You're
like,
good to go.
bro, you don't understand, because growing up, like, we play ball, right? But like, because I'm from the British Virgin Islands,
Play
so
ball every day.
we play ball, right?
Yeah.
So like, for some of my friends and peers, they're gonna watch this and be like, it's impossible you with Bone Collector, because we watch you, right? And we try to imitate you, we try to do it, but it's mean like nobody can do it like you, bro. So the fact that you're actually trying to go out there and teach people, and you're sitting here and you're talking to me, like, this is just like, I don't even know, man. The honor, the pleasure,
Thank
man.
you.
And I know,
I appreciate that.
like you said, like, you probably felt the same way when you met Adam Sandler. Like, it's like me. And other people, they look up to you, bro. Like, I don't know if you feel that way, or do you feel like that? Like, like.
Yeah, well, the thing I learned is, in my culture, in African American male culture, most of our heroes, so to speak, get something thrown in their demographic to dim their shine or their light.
Right.
What I've noticed is I keep myself so close to the individuals that are, kind of going through the struggle. I keep myself so close to them that I have no room for the scrutiny, because I'm always in the fire. So I'm not, I do appreciate when people say, you inspire me, you do this, and you do that.
For sure.
But it's all of us at this point, So I think that's why I get the love I get, because it's not about me. It's more about making sure that the people understand what support looks like, and then vice versa. Like, you bringing me on a show, you watch me play all these years.
Definitely.
But who knows? Before we leave here, we go to your city and do Bone Collector Academy. That's
down for it.
Let's do. I mean, whatever you want.
We got a promising guy named Demoy Hodge. I don't know if you heard of him, but from back home in the British Virgin Islands, I think he's in Cleveland right now.
Nice.
But ESPN was talking about him and everything. So we, like, at least for me, we're rooting for him to do well. So like, for you, if you decide, like, yeah, I mean, you're down to go to the BVI and do an academy, man, we'll set that up, bro.
We can do that without question, sir.
We will set that up.
So
bro,
that's what. So when you ask me, do you understand the role that you play? Yeah, I do. My role is not to say, oh, thank you for this, that, and the third. My role is to say, now what can we do with the support we're doing?
For sure,
what are we doing with the support we both have for each other?
Oh, for sure.
And the only reason I mention that is because that's something that it's almost frowned upon in our society, so to speak, because
bro.
the unity that it takes to raise a child is, I think, everyone, and that's what we need to probably focus on more so than anything.
Definitely. And the fact that you're actually reaching down and saying, look, I'm gonna come sit down with this dude and talk to him and see what he's about, man, that's legendary within itself, man. Because
Thank
a
you.
lot of people, especially in our community, won't do it. And it's cool and it's understandable, but it's also even better because I can now help somebody just by
Hmm.
you helping me. You
Right.
understand? That's how we keep the thing going. You understand what I'm saying? So I appreciate it, man, for
No
sure, for
problem.
sure. But
Thank you.
I gotta ask, man. You and Professor.
Hmm.
When is that 2 and 2 tour coming back, man? We need that. We
Um,
need that,
Stay
man.
tuned. Me and Professor, he's one of my closest friends. We talk every week.
Mm-hmm.
Every week or so, we discuss what we're gonna do moving forward. So please believe me, we have a tremendous amount of talent and people that are gonna join us as we hit the courts. Stay tuned. That's all I can tell you.
You can't tell me nothing. That's good though. I like that. I like that. We're gonna keep it a secret, man.
Yeah.
But what normally when we end it off, right? How I end it off, I like to end it off with doing something called a wow, right? It's called words of wisdom.
Hmm.
So for any street baller that's coming up that wants to play ball, that's probably watching this right now and saying, "Man, I want to do what you do, or I want to do what they do." What words of wisdom would you give to them right now?
So to finish off, and I like this segment. Wow, words of wisdom.
Thank you.
I would like to just give you some advice that I learned from my father.
Hmm.
First and foremost, you don't have to grow up and be somebody. You were born somebody. It's all about the work you plan on putting in to achieve those goals. Another thing that I want people to understand about just life, and this is only my opinion, so I hope that it doesn't carry too far, is life has several journeys, and everyone is going to classify these journeys, whether it's spiritual, mental, physical. And each one of these journeys that you take, you have to have a calm place so you can think and make rash decisions. Because what we're experiencing is called a sped up and a microwaved lifestyle where
Hmm.
everything is fast. And you wake up in the morning and you check your phones, and we wake up and we do things too quick nowadays, and we don't allow ourselves the time to let things manifest here first.
Hmm.
This is just a message from my 15-year-old son and my 6-year-old, that I teach them. So, like I said, opinionated, it is something that I truly believe in. To relax yourself and put yourself in a calm state of mind throughout each and every journey that you may go on. And then, lastly, basketball is a something that you can aspire to do all your life and not make it. No matter if you made it or not, you can still be an animal at that sport. Doesn't matter if someone says, you now I'm going to certify you as being good. That's not all what you need to be certified in a game that was created and made up in someone's mind. Basketball has been set in stone for all these years, 75 years, and out of all those 75 years, it's changed every year. So don't think you can't change it too. It doesn't really matter what the naysayers or the people who criticize you feel about your game. As long as you're working on it and you get it to the point where you've mastered it, it will be respected. And that's what I learned throughout my career.
Hmm. I'll take that. Wow, man. Listen, my wow would be simple, man, because I can't top that. So my wow would just be keep dreaming, man. Keep dreaming. Don't give up. Anything is possible. Whatever you want, you can manifest whatever you want in your life. I'm sitting here with the bone collector. Never thought this would have happened, man.
Mhm.
This guy, he's probably about to go collect some bones on the court right after this, guaranteed. So I'm just telling you right now, man, anything is possible. Life is what you make it, man. And just keep doing what you're doing and love what you're doing, man. You want to shout out your brand? Which
Big shout out Team Ankle Breaker. Big shout out
Ankle
to
Breaker.
Lasso. If you guys want to check out some of the gear, Go to lassogear.com/bone
Sir.
collector
Okay.
and check that out. You can also follow me on Instagram at Bone Collector 6 and check out my YouTube channel, Bone Collector Unlimited, where we will be releasing all new content. And I got some special things coming up, new accounts, new videos, new collaborations. Stay tuned. And remember, if you're reading this, you can't guard me.
Not at all. And he said it, and it's proven. Fact. This is Talk That Ish. We out of here. Peace out, man.